Hello, my name is Dr. Ridwan Fontaine. I teach Islamic management at IIUM, and today we will do something a little bit different. So we have focused on a number of parts of Surah Al-Imran, and what I would like to do is, before we continue further, I want to connect the dots. So I've already done a series of videos on Surah Al-Fatiha. I've done a series of videos on Surah Al-Baqarah. Now we're doing Surah Al-Imran. And what's the connection between the two? So, actually the three. So in Surah Al-Fatiha, what we were talking about is the names of Allah, right? The fact that Allah is Ar-Rabb, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, and Maliki Yawmiddin. And in Surah Al-Fatiha, we are told that there are three kinds of people. Some people are blessed, some people earn anger, and some people are lost. In one of the hadith that relates to this, we have been told that the people who earn anger are actually Bani Israel. And one of the people who are lost are the Christians. And it happens that the Surah Al-Baqarah talks a lot about Bani Israel, and Surah Al-Imran talks a lot about the Christians. So there's a common misunderstanding, which is an incorrect understanding, of course, which is the Quran is criticizing the Jews and criticizing the Christians. That's because we don't understand how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about Bani Israel and the Nasara in the Quran. So the idea is the Jews were a people who received revelation. They were basically the Muslims of their time. Some of the Jews were not able to accept Isa, and so they stayed Jews, and some of the Jews were able to accept Isa, and they became Christians. The thing with the Jews is they became very, very legalistic. So they were very, very focused on the Sharia. The thing with the Christians is they become very spiritual. So they almost rejected the Sharia completely. The reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the Christians and the Jews is so that we understand these are the two ways that you can get lost. You either become super, super legalistic, and you basically make the religion very difficult, and then you have all kinds of problems. You know, people are turning things which are halal into haram, and you start picking and choosing what you like from the religion. And this is the mistakes that some people made amongst the Bani Israel. Or you become super spiritual, and you basically start saying, oh, we don't need the Sharia, we can do, basically we don't need the Sharia. It's just about, I just want to get close to Allah, I just want to remember Allah, and you just basically don't care about the laws. So these case studies, it's not there to condemn the Christians and the Jews. These case studies are for the Muslims to look at themselves. So there are three possibilities. One possibility is you actually understand Islam well, and you have that balance between the two extremes. One possibility is you are more towards Bani Israel. So you are more legalistic. And again, one of the things that the people of Bani Israel has been criticized for is they start playing with the religion, right? They start twisting the laws, they start manipulating the hukum. Why? Because actually they want to follow their own desires. Another possibility is for Muslims to become more spiritual, and to the extent that you undervalue the law, you undervalue the Sharia, you don't think that this Sharia is very important, and you actually get upset with all these people who are interested in the Sharia. So there's these two extremes, and as Muslims we are supposed to be having that balance in the middle. Now, I've said this in other videos, and I'm saying this to myself as a reminder because I haven't said this in a long time. When you're reading Quran, the purpose is not to look at other people. So your job is not to look at people around you and say, oh, they're like this, they're like that, they're like this, they're like this. The purpose of reading the Quran is for you to look at yourself, right? So you're looking at yourself in the mirror, and if you understand what you're reading, you're thinking, okay, what is my tendency? You have to be actually very arrogant to believe that you are exactly on the straight path. If you think about it, that's actually quite weird. So you're either going to one side or you're going to the other side. And maybe it's because of your upbringing, right? So maybe because of you were in an environment where there was a lot of emphasis on the Sharia, so you become very, very Sharia focused, and you almost lose the spiritual aspect of the religion in the process. Or maybe you were on the other side. You were born in a family where the Sharia was not emphasized, and it was all about being very spiritual and so on and so forth. Or as a teenager, you kind of rebel and you're going one way or the other. So the purpose of these negative case studies is not to criticize the Jews or the Christians, is for you to look at yourself and figure out where you are, what are your tendencies, and how you can correct yourself, and what do you need in order to correct yourself. Okay, so having talked a lot about the Christians, I just wanted to kind of make this video as a reminder. Don't misunderstand. It's not about attacking other people. It's about us looking at ourselves and figuring out what we need to do in order to correct ourselves. Okay? Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.